locked in.
Look at what we have here, folks.
To the only show that matters.
The cream of the crop.
Duke loves wrestling.
And there is no one that does it better than
your host.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
The Duke.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Welcome back to Duke Loves Wrestling, the show about pro wrestling and everything else.
I thought it was the show about nothing.
This isn't Seinfeld.
You're damn right it's not Seinfeld.
This is not Seinfeld.
They had viewers,
Yep.
and they made an impact, and people liked them.
People like me.
Nobody-
make
no
an
one likes
impact, and we got plenty of viewers.
No one likes
too.
you.
You know, and you know
Absolutely
what?
no one
people
likes you.
people enjoyed last week's episode, okay, because we were talking
According
about
to whom?
You're talking about the PWI 500,
Sure.
and they took issue with my issues with Kenny Omega, which to everybody out there who has a problem with me talking about Kenny Omega, I don't care. So let me just get that out of the way to start the week.
No one cares about your Kenny Omega views.
Everyone cares about my Kenny Omega views. Boston Bad Boy.
What?
How are you?
Well, I'd be better if I wasn't here, I'll tell you that.
Listen.
Every time I get out, you pull me back in.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
You know
Every
what?
time I get out, you pull me back in.
Now, that's a Godfather reference.
It is from the worst Godfather. Unfortunately, from the worst
I
Godfather
enjoyed
movie.
Godfather Part 3
Oh,
because
God.
it was political.
What a piece
I
of
enjoyed that.
crap
That was a
is.
great movie.
Steaming pile of crap.
So The Godfather, the first two were packaged together. They were on TV. You know they do that. They do the
and
saga
if you have a
thing.
whole weekend to get
I know,
to
you're
get
going to need
to it.
about 8 hours to get through.
I'm gonna go against convention.
Oh, yeah?
I'm gonna say the first Godfather
Mhm.
is potentially the better Godfather.
I'm okay with that because it was the original.
It was the original, and there's something about it that's more, I don't know, less polished, I guess.
Sure. It was grittier.
Outstanding performances all around.
Yeah, it's hard to pick. You know what, though? I'm not afraid to say that my favorite is Godfather 3.
Wow, you should be afraid of that.
I'm not afraid because it was political. Okay? It wasn't as much violence.
I know,
but it was political.
You're a political file.
Listen, I love that stuff.
I know you do.
Okay?
And I think The Godfather Part 1 is it's a great movie overall.
Mhm.
I think Godfather Part 2 is a good movie in chunks.
No, the whole
You
thing
can
is
watch.
great.
Well, but I'm saying
No.
sitting.
Don't do that.
It's not necessary to sit through that whole movie. You're hitting these really great parts.
Sure, okay. But you know what they do in the saga? They split up Part 2.
They put it one side to the other. They put it in chronological order.
They put it in chronological order.
Which to me, that even ruins Part 2
Oh, it's
because the whole flashback and flash forward thing.
Mhm.
That's part of the storytelling. So
I'm talking about a movie where you watch a man unravel.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And
Just
I
the
think that
unraveling.
I have to say, and this will be potentially an unpopular opinion, and I think I've said it before on the show, Pacino's peak. I think that's his best role. And it's because it's really the only movie, I will say, it's one of the final movies of his where he relies on something he's very good at versus something he thinks he's very good at. What he's very good at is the slow burn.
Okay.
The slow, silent, the eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and the slow, maniacal power.
Mm.
At some point in his career, he decided that screaming at the top of his lungs was going to be his approach to every role he was in.
Well, wait a second. I'm just gonna completely ruin everything you just said.
You can't because I'm right, but you can try.
Scarface.
You know,
Are you kidding me right now? Scarface? You have a problem with Scarface?
I think that movie is way hyped better than
You're crazy.
way beyond.
That was a piece of cinema brilliance.
But again,
Okay.
we're talking close to the same era
Yeah,
here
it was
still.
about 79 when
That's
Scarface
right. So we're
came out.
still talking in the same era.
Okay. Carlito's Way.
You know, even then, there's a caricature developing. There's a caricature developing where he becomes the guy that does all this. He's all up here, rather than me and down here, which is scarier. Mo Green. Scene in Godfather Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Mo Green. Michael, you don't talk to a guy like Mo Green like that. He doesn't. He says like 4 words in that whole scene. That scene is like 4.5 minutes long.
True.
And he's sitting at the table, and he just says, "How much? We're going to buy you out. You're not going to buy me out. I talked to Bazzini. You guys don't have the muscle anymore." The whole back and forth.
That's right.
You talk to my brother like that? It was nothing. And you just see it adding up. where he's not moving.
No.
He's
there.
He's letting you know.
Yep.
The X, Y, Z, and go think about it. He doesn't have to say go F yourself. He doesn't have to get where the other guy is going. Totally powerful.
Is that unlike you?
No, 100% like me.
Unlike you.
There's a very much a Pacino, a De Niro, a Pesci acting level that I possess, and a calm and a collected manner.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the ability to convey information, something that you wouldn't understand. It's so beyond.
Because I'm 100% authentic. I don't need to act. I am.
No,
did you see
you
that?
are nothing.
Put that on a T-shirt right now.
Yeah,
all right,
I'm gonna put up my toilet paper along with your face, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Well, speaking of actors and speaking of great Italians, our man, Big Vito Lograsso, he's going to join us.
Here's a real tie-in. There's a nice little left turn.
Bada bing.
I'll give you credit for that.
He's going to join us, and he's going to talk about his new horror film, The Church.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? The Church.
Well, given all the news we've gotten about the church lately.
Yeah, well, that's a good point.
It seems to be fitting.
I hope it seems a
horror movie.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out. Yeah, but before we get to any of that,
okay.
Boston Bad Boy.
What?
I want to celebrate.
Oh, God.
Okay, because, last week, that was the tribute show to Grandma Pearline.
That's right.
Have you.
Grandma Pearline.
I want to celebrate something, and I'm sure Grandma Pearline would appreciate
Alrighty.
this. The New England Patriots have lost again. Okay? They're 1-2. And the Miami Dolphins are number 1 in the division.
I am not a strong sports guy. Mm-hmm. I know less about real sports than I do about wrestling.
Okay.
Which is totally ridiculous.
You don't know anything.
Exactly. So that's how much I know about and care about football. But here's what I find interesting. And here's the question I posed to a couple of people I know who are into sports. Now, I like making fun of you because you're a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, and that is the most laughable. Even someone who doesn't know sports can agree that that's absolutely laughable.
I own it.
Is this you being authentic?
Shout out to my man Reed.
Authentic.
We're Cowboys fans.
Yeah.
We own it.
Listen, everyone's a sucker for a lost cause, apparently. Here's your New England Patriots. Tom Terrific, leading charge to a stumbling start. Now, Tom's getting up there. The system, people are working out the system now after how many years?
Jeez, he's been at it almost 20 years.
Okay.
Now, right? Something like that.
They've gone to the Super Bowl, 4 out of the last 6 or 4 out of 5, or some insane number. How quickly, when the fall comes, when the Patriots Nation collapses, all right, if they go 9-7, middling to bad, does that take a lot of wind out of the sails, or is it going to take 5 years of that to happen before people give up on him?
No, the wind will come out of the sails when you don't have Belichick or Brady anymore.
And that's exactly what I think.
Yeah.
That's because everyone who's coming to me was saying, well, it's a losing season if they don't make the playoffs. I said no. Because 90% of the fandom is all about Tom.
Yep.
And it's all about how good-looking so-and-so is and this and that.
Yep.
Hardcore football fans are always going to stay. They were there before that.
Sure.
But that's not a big enough number to sustain the universe that has been built on the back of the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
There are local sports stations who will probably be looking at potential collapse.
Oh, they're going to crumble. Yeah, they'll crumble.
Because they don't have a topic to talk about.
Yeah.
Think of all these sports cities, and I know a bit about the business. There are big cities in America, big cities, that a sports station simply cannot work because the fandom isn't there. Sports doesn't work very well there. Look at Cleveland. Perfect example. Big area. But they don't have what Boston has as far as 2 full-time sports stations and the whole thing and this and that and TV simulcast.
Yeah.
That model, which everybody thinks is this big permanent thing, is built on something so finicky that it isn't even a winning record. It isn't even playoffs. It isn't even a Super Bowl win or loss. It's Tom Terrific. And eventually, he's going to have to stop.
I want him to stop right now. Get him out of there.
No, you know what's going to be the death knell? He's like Trump. He's going to refuse to stop.
Well, he has. He said, I'm going to play another 5 years.
And he's going to go beyond. He's going to embarrass himself.
Yep.
For no reason. For no reason. Let's go back to the Seinfeld reference we started the show with. Out on top. And how long ago? That was 1998. We are 20 years later. People are still asking for a Seinfeld reunion.
True.
Do you know what I mean?
True.
Because they went out on top.
They went out on top. And the Patriots, they should have went out 2-3 years ago if they wanted to go out on top.
Well, Tom should have just said,
too late now. Yep, too late now.
I'm going to pass the torch, whatever.
No.
They could have been farming somebody else.
Yep.
They could have put him in a position of being a manager, so he's still there with, do the whole
it's the ego.
Do the whole Cam Neely.
It's the ego.
And that ego will ultimately take them down.
Now, Gisele Bundchen, if you're listening, I still want you to adopt me. I don't want to marry you. I don't want to even date you. I just want you to adopt me. I will be one of your children. We look alike, kind of, so it's all good.
She is the whitest Portuguese Brazilian woman I've ever seen.
Yeah, but she's also very rich.
Yeah.
I just wanted her to adopt me. That's it.
Yeah, I think I don't know.
I think call her mom.
And I think she's cooler than him.
She's much cooler than him.
Like, I think she's much
everything.
more socially.
She's everything.
Like, you want to have a beer with her, not him.
Well,
everyone thinks they want to have a beer with Tom.
I would not even want to.
And here's the weird thing.
Talk to Tom.
I think everybody wants to bang Tom, and they want to have a beer with Gisele. That's really what it is.
I don't want to bang Tom.
No, I think there are some Patriots fans, men and women.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing wrong with that.
Well,
but what I'm saying is,
I don't want to.
There is a fetishistic obsession with Tom Brady.
I don't want to have anything to do with Tom Brady. But Gisele, I just want her to adopt me.
I just think the smart thing to do is have the beers with Gisele.
Okay.
Because you're never going to.
But she probably drinks really expensive beer.
What do you mean? What's really expensive beer?
There's expensive beers out there. Trust me, pal.
No one's going to a store. Listen, she lives in the real world.
Okay.
They live around here. They're going to the Packy.
Well,
they're not getting really expensive beers.
She can fly to Brazil just like that. She
you know
can go
what?
Get some.
She's so down to earth. She'd drink a Coors Light.
Coors Light.
I'm telling you. I bet she'd go to a dive bar if she could get away with it.
You think so?
And she wouldn't get mobbed.
You know what, Gisele Bundchen, if you want to go to the dive bar with the Duke,
a Duke
welcome.
pub crawl.
You're welcome.
What a horrifying idea that is.
That would be awesome.
What a horrifying idea.
Gisele Bundchen, the Duke.
You would not be able
crawl.
to. First of all, you'd show up with a fanny pack on and embarrass everybody.
I know. She would love it because it's fashionable and she's into fashion. I don't know if you knew this or not. She's a very fashionable person like I am.
There's something wrong with you.
Okay.
You've taken this into a whole weird direction. All I'm saying is, I think the Patriots Nation, as much as you want to gloat about it,
yes,
because I think you're gloating about the wrong thing. I think you're premature. Because I think the real epic fall is going to come in the slow crumbling.
No.
Because here's the thing. When no one wants to go see the Patriots, who's going down to that big mall they built down there in the middle of nowhere?
Patriots.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Are the Revolution going to start filling seats down there?
Sure.
Maybe they should.
Look at that. See?
I just think it's funny. I enjoy a Patriots loss just because I've always liked the underdog. I rooted for the Sox. Not that I was, but it's an underdog story.
Oh, yeah? Really?
Yeah.
They have like the highest payroll in
now they do.
Baseball.
I grew up. I don't know if you knew. No, but I grew up here.
Oh, so did I. So
okay.
What's your point?
So my point is I went to Red Sox games where they couldn't give away seats.
So what?
And now it's $100 a seat for the cheap seats.
Yeah. Can't even touch it.
Can't touch it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a compelling story anymore. The Cubs. No longer a compelling story. They won it.
They had to get somebody from the Red Sox to help them win. Shout
Whatever
out to
it
my
takes.
man Theo. Shout out to Theo.
Question: who have the Dallas Cowboys got to help them win? Oh, nobody. Let's move on because I think that you just don't have any way to recover from that one.
Run the ropes. It's time to run the ropes. It's when I go over the top stories in the world of professional wrestling and educate this knucklehead Boston bad.
Just get on with it, will you?
No, well, listen. You're going to sit here and make fun of my Dallas Cowboys. I'm not really too happy about that. You have to show some respect to my team, okay? But since this is a wrestling show, we're going to talk a little bit about wrestling.
Why do we still do a wrestling show? I mean, is wrestling even popular anymore? I don't know that it's even worth it. WWE closed at its highest point, its stock at its highest point in history. They're still making money, by the way. Great.
Okay?
That's great.
They're still making money.
What's your first story?
That is the first story.
Oh. All right, hang on. I'm going to go get my phone charger, and I'll be right back. You just tell the story, and then I'll come back.
No.
I'll be right back.
No.
I'll be right back.
Well, good. So now that it's just us here, folks, because obviously the Boston bad boy, he doesn't make any sense. WWE stock is through the roof, and if you're like me, where you're a long-time investor, you got to be happy about this, folks. I mean, you got to be through the moon here. And mind you, they're doing this without that punk John Cena. They're doing it despite the fact that Roman Reigns, for the most part, wasn't champion for most of the time. I mean, the WWE is making things happen, and that's why I have to pay homage to my good friend,
It's homage.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
It's homage.
Okay? I mean, Boston Bad Boy, can you imagine a stock that at one point was like at $12? Now it's almost at $100 a share.
Can I tell you something funny? Speaking of stocks.
Go ahead.
I used to work for CBS.
Okay.
And, they gave the sexual harasser, Les Moonves, he's going to get some golden parachute. He basically sank a company that was, legendary.
Yeah.
Destroyed the radio division.
Tell us how you really
because
feel.
he wanted to do more episodes of whatever that show his wife hosts.
Mm-hmm.
Big Brother. She the host of Big Brother?
Yeah.
And anyway, so when I was at CBS, we had, as part of our employee thing, a stock option that I had for years. Didn't even really realize. They give you that as part of a incentive thing.
Sure.
So at one point, the CBS stock was at like 68. Hovering around. So a couple of friends and I go, what we should do? We all realized we had this stock. We all realized it was going to get turned over when the company got split. We should get rid of it. No, keep it. CBS is going to cut the radio division loose, and it's going to buoy the stock's going to go through the roof. Hold on to it. Because no matter what you own the stock, hold on to it. Talking to some friends of mine, I don't know nothing about the stock market, but I'm watching it. And I'm going, that doesn't add up. That seems like wishful. That's what they think is going to happen. Stock goes up, 71. 71 and a half. It starts bouncing there. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to pull the trigger. Cashed out, right? A couple months later, sale comes. CBS stock right now is like $42 a share. I would have taken a bath. Because of Les Moonves and his lack of leadership.
So are you saying you know more than Les Moonves? Like,
Listen, you know what I know? What? I know not to sexually harass people who work with me. Okay. That's what I know.
That's important.
And I know that's why I still have a job, Les, and you don't.
Wow.
That's what I know.
This is not a show for you to grind your axes with.
Listen, it's much more interesting than you talking about Roman Reigns and,
I'm talking about WWE stock.
WWE stock.
Okay? I want people to buy more so it goes up even more. How about that? That's what I want. Okay? Moving on. Congratulations to Marty the Moth. What a name. What a name is this guy has, huh?
Is this an old school guy?
No, this is a new guy. So he's
Marty the Moth.
Yeah, he's with Lucha Underground. He just won one of their championships there, and which is pretty cool.
Why not just the Moth? Marty makes him seem too likable.
Well, I guess that's what it is. He's a likable guy. Marty
yeah,
the
but
Moth.
the Moth is kind of cool.
Okay. You know what, Marty? Come on the show sometime. The Boston Bad Boy wants to know, why won't you just go by the Moth?
Yeah,
but that sounds kind of sinister, the Moth.
It's perfect. It's a great heel.
I don't know about that.
It's a great heel.
Well, he doesn't want to be a heel. He's a babyface.
You know what he should have done?
Oh, here we go.
Here's what we should have done.
What should he have done?
Opportunity.
You're going to tell Marty the Moth what he should have done.
He should have been
what?
As a babyface, he should have been Marty the Caterpillar, right?
Okay.
And then there's this whole storyline that develops, and he disappears for a while, and when he comes back, he's Marty the Moth.
You're
See,
ridiculous.
he's gone through the pupa stage.
You're ridiculous.
The pupa stage,
Oh.
and he's emerged as a moth, the Killer Moth. The Killer Moth.
You're ridiculous.
Come on.
All right, let's move on.
Actually, the Killer Moth is a Batman villain.
You're a piece of work.
I'm sure one of your nerd friends on the Facebook page can straighten me out on that.
We do have some nerd comic book hero folks who will definitely be able to straighten you out soon.
Yeah.
Moving on, because obviously the Boston Bad Boys trying to ruin the show, and we can't.
I've got places to be. I can't be here all night.
I don't know about that. Folks, anybody out there, if you know where Neville is, please let us know, because he's off the grid.
Aaron Neville?
No, not Aaron Neville. Adrian Neville. This guy, he was in the WWE. He got pissed off, and he decided he's just going to leave. So he literally went home back to the UK and forced them to release him from his contract. So now promoters are saying they can't get in touch with the guy because they want to book him on shows. It's a big deal now, right? And he won't return their calls.
Really?
Does that mean he's coming back to the WWE?
I don't know about that.
Did they throw enough money at him that he comes back?
I don't know. But now you made me want to listen to a little Aaron Neville.
Are you really doing this right now?
That's right. I love this song.
Look at this face.
Give me a
Look at this
turn
face.
that
Would you
off.
look at this face?
I don't want to look at your face.
You asked me. There's
I don't
Aaron
want to
Neville.
look at your face.
You wanted Aaron Neville.
No, I don't want Aaron Neville. What's wrong with you?
All right.
Jesus. Trying to talk about Neville here and the fact that he's off the grid and you're playing
I
Aaron
don't
Neville.
know much,
Oh,
but I know I love you.
Aaron Neville, you can sue this man. He's Boston Bad Boy. I'll give you his address.
All I need
You can.
know.
All right,
Come on, I
moving
got the pipes.
I got to get off of this before you really piss me off today. There's a guy by the name of John Cena.
Oh, boy.
Who is currently in China.
China.
And I have it on good authority that he's afraid of a good friend of ours by the name of Big Sam, who is currently the Middle Kingdom Wrestling China champion. Okay. Big Sam, he's a big guy from the UK. He's taking over China. He's a giant over there, obviously, because he's very big. That's why I call him
Cena's
Big
no
Sam.
small guy over there either.
But I think John Cena's afraid of Big Sam because Big Sam has called him out and Cena won't even respond.
Well, Cena's in a foreign country. He's got no protection.
That's true.
He's got none of the fawning fans and whatever.
People want to see this match. They want to see John Cena versus Big Sam.
Because they want to see John Cena in a real wrestling match.
That will not be pretty.
Not some reality show thing that you support by watching that garbage.
I like reality TV.
Can I give you a quick aside? Reality TV aside. So the other day, hanging out with a friend who insists on the TV being on to Keeping Up with the Kardashians. No, wait. So I said, you know what? I'll bite. I'll play ball. I'll play ball for I'll give you 5 minutes on this. And I'm watching it, and it's not as ridiculous really as I thought it was going to be, but it's just the formulaic. Who cares? Like, they're taking stuff that isn't an issue and trying to make it an issue. But during the show, there were many, many promos for whoever the hell that wrestling show is, the reality show.
Oh, yeah, Total Divas.
Total Divas.
Yep, which is a big-time show. Yeah.
Absolutely. It made the Kardashians look like the Mary Tyler Moore show.
It's a big-time show, okay?
You support that kind of stuff, and because you and people like you support that garbage, that's why we don't have real wrestling anymore. That's why a guy like John Cena is completely outclassed and impossible. He can't wrestle a guy like Big Sam. Because he's been so protected and cocooned in this storyline. It's like Dynasty, for Christ's sake.
Oh.
He can't just go over there and wrestle. He's unprepared mentally.
Oh, well,
he doesn't have it up here.
Listen, I'm a big fan of Big Sam, but I think you're being a little derogatory. So just
to who? Cena? Absolutely.
Dial it back.
He doesn't have it. He lost it.
But he's from Massachusetts.
Who gives a? He's from big deal. You know who's from Massachusetts?
Who?
Charles Manson.
Okay, I didn't know that. Look at
It's
that.
not true, but I just felt like giving you something to
move it
shut
on.
you up.
Jesus, the top story in the world of professional wrestling is Brie Bella kicks Liv Morgan in the face twice.
Can we reenact this just so I can get a full vision
go
of
ahead.
it?
Get down.
I was going to kick you in the face, and you explain to me how much it hurts.
So Brie Bella is trying to do Daniel Bryan's moves, and she's been gone from the wrestling ring for a couple years now.
Now, do her moves as Daniel Bryan include ending her career because she's had too many concussions?
Well, I think I showed you when she tried to dive out of the ring and she's completely botched it a couple times.
We did see that.
But with this nonsense, she was kicking Liv Morgan in the chest, and somehow her shin managed to hit Morgan in the face. Full blast, mind you. Right? Morgan is not protected. She's on her knees and she's getting blasted in the face. So she hits her one time. Notices that she hits the woman one time in the face and proceeds to hit her again in the face.
Wow.
Now, everyone keeps saying, well, it was an accident. But here's my issue. Then she grabs Morgan by the head and drags her over to the corner. Morgan is completely out of it. Drops to the ground outside of the ring, and then they have to try to finish the match without her. It's a triple threat match. It's a 3-on-3 match, 6-man tag, we should say. Morgan, because she's in a daze, doesn't know what's going on, actually gets back in the ring and goes for another spot, which the referee didn't even protect her.
Well,
the referee should have pulled her out of there when he saw her jump back in the ring. I don't even know how the hell that happened.
You make it seem like they're not all in on the gag.
What
they don't
gag?
care.
Oh.
They don't care.
Well,
they don't care if somebody gets hurt.
Somebody definitely got hurt.
Yeah, well, they don't care.
So the WWE, which they hardly ever do this, they had to release a statement about Liv Morgan having a concussion because it was clear as day.
Well,
she was, oof.
Listen, everything they should, every time they release a statement like that, they should just label it Exhibit C because it's going to end up in court one day, thankfully, and they're going to get their asses handed.
Well, stop it. But I just think Brie Bella needs to stay out of a wrestling ring. What is going on right now? Stop it. Stop playing this. Shout out to Linda Ronstadt, but stop playing this.
Well, no, just Aaron Neville. You said
No,
you were looking
no.
for him
We'll
earlier.
move on.
I just
Move
thought
on.
we were just
All right,
finishing
all
this,
right.
aren't we?
I'd see what you listen. Brie Bella, stay out of the wrestling ring. You stick to reality TV because clearly you're going to hurt not only yourself but somebody out there, and we just don't need that. We don't need it. Liv Morgan is a fantastic talent, and she gets blasted in the face.
Hey, can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
Awful. You've heard what I think. Now, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm a jerk? Maybe something in between? Head over to Facebook. Head over to Twitter. Type in Duke Loves Rasslin and let me know. Up next, the star of the new horror film, The Church. We're talking to him, Big Vito Lograsso.
Hey, this is Daniel Richards, the progressive liberal. I want you to remember to vote Democrat, turn this country around, continue listening to one of the best out there, the Duke Loves Rasslin podcast.
Big Vito, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, you know how it is, just hanging and banging, looking good.
Now you ready to go on? You ready to go on Space Mountain or what?
Well, I've been there, done that. Right now I'm in front of Little Mermaids, all right? gotta
Perfect.
help out all the little people.
Absolutely.
That's right. Now, Vito, what's this business about you being a big-time movie star now with this latest horror film, The Church?
Well, it's something we taped a few years back. It finally came out. You know, it's a Don Frank film. It's a horror movie with Bill Moseley, Clint Howard, Lisa Wilcox. I have a pretty big role in the movie. I'm glad I got the opportunity to do this. It should be a horror film thriller and probably one of the best horror films of the year. Really looking forward to this coming out on October 5th, 2018, in all the AMC theaters around the country. So I think that this will be something great, and I think it'll be really something that will shock people to see Big Vito back on the screen, back in action, back in the spotlight. And, you know, for all the people who stuck by me all these years, like yourself and all the other people, thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoy the film.
Tell us about your character in the film there, because this is really interesting. I know that you've acted in a few other films, but this has got to be, what, your first horror film that you've acted in?
First horror film, I played Ricardo Lewis, and I actually play a mafia guy's henchman. And, you know, I do the dirty work in the movie. It's a scary movie. It's a horror movie. And there's a fight scene. But I can't tell you what it's about because that'll ruin the whole concept of the movie.
Sure. Now, you said you worked on this a couple of years ago. So have you taken acting lessons or anything, Vito, or are you just kind of winged it on this one?
Well, 25 years worth of wrestling. And I've done commercials. I've done films. I've done game shows. I've done reality shows. I mean, if everybody looks at my IMDb, you know, I have, you know, it's pretty stacked. But my goal really is to be in the detective movie, be a New York City cop or whatever kind of cop, you know, be along the lines of a De Niro, a Pesci, a Stallone, you know, a Seagal, and do one of those kind of movies. I mean, those are the guys who I aspire to. And you know what? Maybe I can even be, you know, the mean babysitter or something like that. Protects all the little kids. I don't know. I don't want to be stereotyped, but, you know, whatever role's out there, you know, I am looking for a new agent. You know, the agent I was with is no longer with me. So if anybody out there is a good agent and has some film work, they'll feel free to hit me up. You know, I'll be more than happy to do your film, and it's a great opportunity, you know, and I'm just looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think we're ripe for a remake of Kindergarten Cop.
Oh,
starring Big Vito.
Can you imagine?
I think so. I'm ready for it.
Forget about Schwarzenegger. Let's get Big Vito in there.
Yeah, let's do it. Hey, kid, why don't you put that down before I have to hurt you?
And he even does comedy.
I see that. He does. You know, it's kind of funny, Vito, to see a guy who is imposing and is as badass as yourself. I bet you would do great in a comedy role as well. So keep yourself open for that, I'm sure.
I got jokes. I'd be funny as hell.
That's right.
You got to see me at parties, man. I figure light the place up.
That's right.
I'm not even drinking. So that's even better.
Even better. Hey, Vito, tell us, how's because you know your wife Noelle, who's fantastic. She has she's really taken off in the reality TV podcast game. How's that going for her right now?
It's doing well. We have a bunch of interviews lined up for the Big Vito brand. She really took off with that one series.
Teen Mom, I think it was.
Yeah, Teen Mom, where she got 500 downloads because she was on Hot Pursuit. She closed 500,000 and caused a lot of havoc in the podcast world. Probably one of the best hits you ever get as a podcaster. So, I mean, we're making our way up through the brand. The brand has grown throughout the year and a half. As you know, Duke, we started out from nothing, and we built it to where we have a bunch of shows. We'd like to be, get our chance on the Realm Network to have our own brand there, and not to compete against Russo or nothing like that. I still do Get in Color, religiously every day. And, Vince helped tutor me in the podcast business. So, I mean, what he taught me and how he taught me is all good. I can't really complain about it. So, I mean, it's helped me. It's helped him. My wife has learned. My wife got better actually from podcasting and doing that, as we spoke many times before, Duke. So, I mean, everything is coming full circle. You know what I mean? I'm back in Florida. I'm in the Champions Gate area, living resort-style living. So it's all good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I got to ask you, Vito, because you're a guy who you wrestled all over the world. You wrestled for many of the top companies, including ECW, WCW, WWE, what have you. This past Monday, Brie Bella kicked Liv Morgan in the face twice, which caused a major concussion. It was something that on live TV on Monday Night Raw, they had to remove Liv from the ring and tend to her and what have you. Talk to us about what happens when you have a concussion in the middle of a match, especially on live TV. What are some of the things that happens in a situation like that? And you, as a person who's in the match, how can you protect your opponent in a situation like that?
Well, to start off, okay, you can't, and I love the Bella twins. I know them since they started. I love them to death, right? They're nice girl, they're entertaining, but here's the but. You can't do somebody else's gimmick. You can't do your husband's stuff, especially if you haven't perfected the craft. She just came back off an injury, and here she's throwing kicks. She just bashed somebody's face in. This is nothing against her. Now, this is just an observation, a journalistic view. If you haven't been in the ring in a long time, get your grounds, learn the basics again, get your feel for the game. You're trying to come out there and do the yes gimmick, trying to copy the kicks, trying to do all the stuff that you haven't done before, and you're not doing it on a regular basis, or you've been out of practice, and you go and do something like that. I mean, it's dangerous for everybody out there. I mean, safety is supposed to be the number one calling. Being on the other end for that girl, when you get knocked for a loop, you're unconscious. You don't know if you're up, down, you're falling, you're spitting, you don't know where you are. You're rolling out in the ring. You still can't find your balance. Remember when Ric Flair had that dropsy with Charles Robinson in the ring as the ref in WCW back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah, it was a classic case. Like, what happened? And I tell you lose all bearings and you lose all sense. So what do you do in that predicament? You know what I mean, guys? It's hard to say. And then the announcers totally blew it when they said she was in the back, and there she is on the side.
I know. You
can't cover something up unless everybody's on point. And you know what? I think it's horrible sometimes when they try to cover something up. Just be honest. Liv Morgan said still ringside doctors are taking care of her. That's all you had to say. And then when the camera went to her, that she was being tended to after the guy said, Michael Cole said she was in the back. Bad broadcasting. Bad. You're trying to hide something. It shows. Clean up your game, get on point, get together from the top. I don't know if he got suspended. I don't know if he got a reprimand or what, but that was totally bad. You're not protecting the guys, or the girls. You're not protecting the business. Be honest in what you see and not what you want to say or what you think. Look around, have awareness, know what's going on.
Yeah, good call, good call. Vito, if folks want to check out The Church, the new movie, new horror film that's coming out that you're actually a star in, how can they check out this great movie here?
Well, The Church is going to be appearing in AMC theaters all around the country October 5th. You're online, you have on Twitter The Church, you have the Big Vito brand, you have Noel's Which damn Twitter handle, girl?
Reality, capital T, so there's a capital T.
All right, guys, I'm gonna give you a special guest. I'm gonna let my wife finish this up and give her all the credits. All right, guys?
Yes, sir.
He just wants to go on Thunder Mountain Railroad.
No, it's all right. You guys like her better than me. I'll talk to you later.
Hello.
Lil Noel, how are you?
I am good. I am sitting in the center of the Magic Kingdom, so I'm pretty much at home right now.
That's
pretty
right.
Much at home.
That's right. This is our favorite best buns over here. Lil
Oh,
Noel.
boy.
That's right.
Hey, it's a
The
family
best
show.
buns.
That's right. That's right.
We're at Disney right now.
Yeah.
I just yelled that in the center of Disney. I was talking about cinnamon buns, kids. Cinnamon buns. Everything's good.
So
So Vito's Twitter, let me run the gambit for you here. Vito's Twitter is at the Big Vito Brand. My Twitter is at reality, capital T, filler. The capital T is because I spill a lot of it. Instagram, same thing. The Big Vito Brand, reality T spiller. On Facebook, you have the Big Vito Brand. You have the Lograsso Grotto. You have Lost in Saturday Morning. We have BigVito.com. We have HarlowInc.com. And we have the new Slambinos.com. I think that's it. Did I cover everything? Oh, don't forget YouTube.com/The Big Vito Brand and Anchor.fm/The Big Vito Brand. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. We're on Google Play. We're on Breaker. We're on Outcast. Everywhere you listen to podcasts, we're on. And we got some great interviews this month. We have, who do we have? David Arquette's with us. DDP will be with us at the end of the month. We have Vito versus Vito. The gentleman that played Vito in The Sopranos is going to verse Vito to see who's more Italian.
Wow.
That's this month, too.
Wow.
So we're
To see
looking it
who's
up
more
with stars
Italian.
for October and The Church, October 5th, AMC Theaters. I'll let you talk to him. I'm the hype man. See, I'm like the Flavor Flav of the Big Vito Brand. I come in, I do the hype, I get out.
Are you wearing the Mickey Mouse ears right now?
Yes, I have on the Evil Queen from Snow White Minnie Mouse ears.
Nice. Nice.
I'll tag you guys in a picture.
Please
I'll put a
do.
picture
Please.
up. I just got out of visiting the Little Mermaid.
Nice. Nice.
Vito wouldn't go in, but he rode the ride. Tell your friends.
Of course he did.
And one of the evil stepsisters said Vito's a castle wrecker, and she
Wow.
was trying to hook up.
Look at that.
Look at him.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, this is the life. This is the Disney life. I'm going to put Vito back on. Thanks, guys, for listening. Hold on just a minute.
Those are getting passed around today.
Yeah, I went in that line at the Little Mermaid. I said, I ain't going in there. I still got my man card, fellas. All right? And I walked out. How about that? And as far as that other ride, I didn't even open my eyes. I closed them the whole time and just said, yeah, babe, this is great. This is great. All right? I held my breath, too.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
What a man will do for love.
I'm telling you.
And just in case ESPN is listening and he happens to go on, da-na-na, da-na-na, yeah, I got on ESPN, too. All here on the Duke Show.
His name is Big Vito Lograsso. His wonderful wife, Noel. Hey, Vito, happy anniversary, by the way. All right, to you and
Thank
Noel.
you very much, man. I appreciate it.
You're
And
welcome.
thank you for having me on the show. It's been a long time. But, you know, you seem to lose my digits every now and then.
Oh, no.
I don't want to bother you, you know.
Listen,
All right, I know you.
absence makes the heart grow fonder. We gotta leave you back a little bit, so when we bring you in, you knock it out like you did today.
No, but you always tell me, yeah, I'll bring you on, I'll bring you back. What do you think? You're a wrestling promoter making it?
Wow.
I'm past that.
You're absolutely
You know what
right,
I'm saying?
Vito.
Boston band.
I got to tell you.
I got a lawyer doing nothing in Boston right now.
I got to tell
He's
you,
not busy.
he brought the Duke brought Bob Backlund in here, and Bob put me in the crossface chicken wing. Can we get you to come in, Vito, and put Duke into something equally as painful?
Oh, no.
You know what? And I won't even ask for pay. I'll just ask for a dinner at one of the local restaurants.
Sure.
And just plenty of press. That's all.
I'll see what I can do because see the look on the pain of his face will be worth
I'm very afraid right now. I got Big Vito Lograsso who's going to kill me now. Thanks a lot. Jeez. Big,
Nah, hey, listen, I just go back to my roots. You know, I'll make you an offer I can't refuse. You know, I'll go to the 5 heads of the Provolone family, get the order, and come see you.
Oh, no,
Every family's got a Fredo, and you could be it.
I knew it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart.
Stop it.
You are the Fredo of this podcast. I've said it before, and you're the Fredo of your family, I think.
I'm
gonna
the Fredo of my family?
Yeah, I think I'm going to call your mom, and she'll
Stop
confirm it
that.
for me.
My mom will, she wants to arrest you. Some of the things. Can I tell you a story?
Please do.
So I ran into my cousin Sean.
Okay.
At my grandmother's homecoming.
The family's in town.
Yep. My cousin Sean asked me a question.
Okay.
He asked me, what was going on with the boss? You know, he listens to the show.
Sorry to hear.
Long time listener to the show.
I really hope your cousin gets a better hobby.
Well, he asked me about you hacking the show, episodes ago and taking over and doing these
because
things.
I have various. I'm like anonymous.
Well,
I can do whatever I need to do.
Just so you know, my cousin Sean, he's ready to make moves.
Really?
He's ready to come see you.
I'm flattered.
He's ready to come see you.
I'm flattered, but I don't really. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I don't go that way.
He's ready to come see you because you're over here doing things that are not acceptable.
What? Making the show better?
No.
Getting great guests on this show?
My cousin Sean will come see you, just so you know.
You know what? Here's a great idea.
Okay.
Why don't you do this effing show with your cousin Sean and leave me out of it?
You know what?
Leave me out of it.
No, because I have a contract that explicitly states you have to be here. So, but maybe I'll bring cousin Sean here to tune you up. Okay.
Why don't you and cousin Sean go down to Disney World like Vito and his wife and have a nice time and just calm down and get a life?
You know what's funny? So Vito, I don't know if folks realize this. Vito is actually good friends with Hulk Hogan.
Oh, Jesus.
So he's always down there in that area. He doesn't bring that up, but he's always down there in that area.
Well, Hogan's a Florida guy, right?
Yeah. But he hangs out with Hogan a lot because, Hogan loves Vito. Vito is close with Hogan, what have you. That Hogan's Beach, that little business that he has down there. I think Vito actually had worked there before at the bar.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that after all that's come out about Hogan being a racist a-hole, that he can keep a business going outside of his wrestling provenance.
Yeah, well, I guess everybody but the people who are offended by Hogan are going to patronize his business. And,
I mean, all right, let me ask you something. Because Hogan's a big name, right? Hogan's a legendary name in wrestling.
He's the biggest name. Hulk Hogan is the biggest name in history. Yeah.
In the history. Okay.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan. He's also the biggest racist that we know of in wrestling history.
He admitted it, at least.
Without fail. Hulk Hogan's people call you.
Mm-hmm.
This is we're really going out here that anyone would want to have your opinion. But Hulk Hogan comes out, people call you. So listen, we want to fly you and the magnificent Boston Bad Boy down to Florida. We're going to put you up for 2 days so you can do an interview with Hulk Hogan for your podcast. The get of the century. But we just want to talk about wrestling. We don't want to talk about the racial stuff. Just want to talk about history of wrestling. You can talk about anything you want in the business. We're steering away from the racial stuff because that's the new fucking PR move, whatever it is. Do you go?
No, I can't. I can't do it.
Well, I'm glad you wouldn't go.
Listen, if I went down,
I wouldn't go
to interview Hulk Hogan, and I didn't ask him about the controversy. I would definitely have like my black man card revoked. Like I couldn't walk the streets anymore.
You'd be a man without a race.
I'd be Kanye West. I'd be a man without a race. Okay.
Look at that! Isn't that amazing?
I would have to say what Jay-Z said. I'm not black. I'm OJ. I mean, I would be. You know what I mean? Which that was an OJ line. Yeah, that wouldn't work.
Interestingly, OJ purposely became a man without a race because he realized that's the business opportunity.
Sure.
I'm black and I'm white.
Well, he did the Michael Jordan. Republicans buy shoes too. He did one of those deals there.
OJ, I'm black, I'm white, and I'm neither.
Yes.
Kanye just hung himself out to dry.
Well, Kanye called himself Jesus. He said, "I'm a god." There's that.
He went transcended. He transcended reality.
Just all over the place. But no, Hulk Hogan, you're welcome to come on the show. I'd love to interview you, but I'm going to ask you about your comments. Period.
And I was talking about the Kardashians earlier.
Yeah.
I asked my friend, is Kanye ever on the show? He's married to Kim Kardashian. And apparently he is once in a while on that show.
That's interesting.
So if someone could just make a supercut for me of just Kanye.
You'd watch the show.
Just like I wanted like his facial reactions and shit. That would draw me in because that's the real story.
Sure.
This man who I know is smarter than to be married to her.
Yeah.
And this lunatic family she's got going on.
Oh, stop that.
He's a man. There's all kinds of wrong going on.
Kanye is starting to apologize to everyone he said crazy things to in the past year.
Is he in AA now? Is this what this is? Is he at the step where he apologized to everybody?
I think he's on his medication. I think there was some issue with the medications. I'm speculating.
Far be it from me to comment on anybody's mental health.
Sure.
And celebrities, it's a whole other universe.
Yep.
But damn Kanye.
The story of Kanye.
And let's go to another of the trifecta, and if I may, because I know I have my
I'm
still on. I have my invite to the barbecue, so I feel like we can talk about this. Michael Jordan.
Okay.
I don't know if we really touched on this. We did, but I'm going to put him in the trifecta of a man without a race.
Sure, because they buy shoes too. He never wants to say anything to offend.
Right.
That's Michael Jordan.
And by doing so, silence is complicity.
Yep.
In certain instances.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand with him thinking like 99% of things.
The man is in a position to speak his mind and refuses to do it.
Right.
Period.
Right.
So we know what Mike is.
Well, but it's almost like, before the I Have a Dream speech was given, right? Martin Luther King is famous and working his way up, doing these small things, right? And it's like someone saying, all right, you've been doing this, you've got this notoriety, now you're going to go in the National Mall and give this speech. And he goes, you know what? I don't want to offend anybody.
Exactly.
I don't want to offend the national audience.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
Yeah.
And I'm not to say that these guys, these celebrities, necessarily have to be the leaders of a culture or a movement.
Yeah.
But you are.
You have a voice.
You have a voice whether you want it or not.
Yep.
You chose a life that gave you a voice. And so now there's a responsibility to either respectfully say, I'm staying out of it, and not say Republicans buy shoes too, or say something. Say whatever it is. Say whatever's in your heart.
Sure.
But just say
it. Please.
But say it.
Say it. But, we know what they are.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Next week, we're going to find any white folk who are without race.
That could be your
That's my homework. That's my homework.
We'll be right back, folks.
Hi, this is Earl Oliver from Sully Finish Wrestling.
This is Raj Geary with WrestlingInc.com.
This is Sean Reed, boxing writer and undercover low-key wrestling fan, and you're listening to Duke Loves Wrestling. Woo!
All right, so the Boston Bad Boy has his homework for next week.
Well, I'm trying to think of who comes to mind just initially on that, and I think Post Malone is probably up there.
He's having a bad year.
Yeah.
This poor guy.
He had the high of the high
and
the lows.
Well,
he almost died in an airplane.
Ever since he hung out with you, he's
exactly.
gone down
So the
drain.
week after he met me, he was stuck in an airplane that couldn't land.
Yep.
And then he's all shook
He had
up.
a car accident he almost died in. I saw a video. A friend of his slapped him in the face.
The tattoos. I think the face tattoos
knocked his
did
tooth out. I mean,
wait, didn't Tiger Woods' wife take a tooth out with the golf club?
Golf club, yeah. Shout out to Tiger. He won a major.
Did you look at him? He was all talk about shaking up, given that press afterwards. He's like, I needed to win. It's just like this guy.
Tiger,
this guy needed a life win.
I can't forgive what you've done to your family, but Tiger, I'm happy you won.
We could talk all day about Tiger Woods. I think like any athlete like that.
Sure.
What was he doing? Having a family. Don't have a family.
Don't have a family.
Don't have a family. You know what?
Yeah.
Live your best life, Tiger.
I'm all with
Wear the red shirt on Sunday.
Just don't bring that home.
Just win.
Yeah.
Win, and travel the country.
Sure.
And just lay waste.
That's it.
To swaths of beautiful women.
He could have been Clooney. He could have been Jeter. Could have lived that.
He could have lived a life where he could have had family. He could have had women. He could have just like Mick Jagger, just kids everywhere.
Sure.
Who cares? He's got the money for it.
Sure.
Live. Instead, you played a foul game.
Yep. And it messed everything
up. And your
up.
wife came after you with an effing golf club.
Messed everything up.
Messed you up.
Messed him up. Messed up his career.
Everything.
Yeah. He's just now recovering.
And look at him. Oof. Shell of a man.
Yeah, it's true.
At least golf, though, is a game that they can play well into their antiquity.
Yeah, he's not done yet either. I think he's going to win again real soon. I wanted to bring up something before we go, Boston Bad Boy, because these so-called fans out there, they just say that
fans of yours. You don't have any fans.
No, I'm talking about wrestling fans. Stop it right now. Stop it. So WWE and Shawn Michaels are negotiating right now, and it looks like he's going to wrestle again.
Okay,
he's been retired for a little while now. It looks like he's going to wrestle.
All right.
They're experiencing their highest point financially.
Okay.
So they can afford to pay this man.
Real money.
Real money.
Money that is worth.
Yeah, he was making money, big money, while he was on
And now
top,
you want me to come back and bring everything that comes with it.
Sure. So you got to pay me, right? Which he'll probably make about $1 million a match, give or take, right?
Jimmy, I need the money.
Yeah,
I need the money.
I need the money. This
is my caper.
Yeah.
There's 500,000 big ones coming to me.
Sure. Some of these idiots out here, well, don't ruin his legacy. I don't want to see Shawn Michaels wrestle again. Dude, you're going to ruin his legacy.
No, I think there is something to be said for that.
And not necessarily going to make a fortune.
Listen, it's two different arguments.
No, there's no two different arguments here.
Here's the thing. Here's what's going to happen. He's going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he's going to ruin his legacy.
Let him make his money.
Oh, I'm all for letting him make his money.
Let me ask you a question.
But ruining the legacy is going to happen, so you cannot deny that.
If you were making top dollar 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
20 years ago, you're at the top of your profession.
Sure.
In pro wrestling, if you made $1 million for the year, that was like a big deal 20 years ago, right? John Cena is making like $7-8 million more than that. So, I mean, come on. Are you going to say John Cena is Shawn Michaels?
No.
Not as a performer, he isn't. So, if you have a chance to come back in the modern era and cash out, have a couple matches, you make a couple mil.
I think you should do it.
He's going to make more money off of 2 matches than he probably made in
You're not hearing
half
it. All
of
right,
his
you're not
career.
hearing. You're listening to me, but you're not hearing me.
No, because you're trying to take the side
You're
of the
hearing me or
idiots.
you're not listening
Who
to me?
cares
I don't know
about
which one that goes.
his quote-unquote legacy? It's already written.
Yeah,
It's
but
done.
you bring back, you see these actors that come out of retirement and they just do some horrible movie or something, and it's just like, ugh, it's just a dud to see it.
Does that stop you from watching their old stuff?
No, of course not.
Does that stop you from feeling?
And no
they're
one's
a
saying
legend?
that. No, it does kind of tarnish it
No,
because
that's nonsense.
it can kind of make it not so good.
So Sean Connery's work during his last
Absolutely,
years.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen,
Mhm.
piece of crap.
Okay.
Never should have done it.
But you love Sean Connery. You
Yeah.
want to be Sean Connery.
Well, I think
So
I'm
you
tall,
haven't
dark, and
stopped
handsome.
trying to be Sean Connery.
My neurosis and psychotic issues have nothing to do with this conversation.
You are a Walmart version of Sean Connery. Okay, and that's what you've built your life on, and it hasn't ended just because he made some crappy movie a couple years ago. Before
No,
he
and
died.
here's the thing: he's going to cash it out, whatever. That's fine.
Sure,
It's fine. But his legacy overall takes a bit of a hit, even in my book.
that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. You're one of them.
Are you expecting me to say that Are you expecting Shawn Michaels fans to say that this work is going to be? Are you expecting them to support it, 100%?
Yeah.
See, I went and I laughed at that Sean Connery movie, going, "This is awful. Why is he doing this movie?"
But you supported it.
No.
You went and saw it.
Yeah, but you don't know what it's going to be.
Okay, I know what it's going to be.
But then after I saw it, I didn't say, "Well, it was good because it's Sean Connery."
Let me
No.
tell you something. I support people that I'm fans of, and you know why? You know how? Wholeheartedly.
Because you're an idiot.
Okay, so come back and get your money. That's what I say.
Why don't you support me? Start with the person who makes this podcast work every week, week in and out.
You don't make
support
anything
me.
work. You're the worst thing that happened in this podcast.
Then I'm done.
No, you're not.
You
done.
and your cousin Joe Schmo, whatever his name is.
I got plans for you, Pat.
Cousin Schmohawk.
I'm gonna bring.
He can come in here.
I'm going to bring more wrestlers in here to beat on you. That's going to be the
kidding
theme
me?
of the show from now on.
You didn't
It's gonna
realize.
get
You didn't
more
realize
wrestlers
when
to
I was
beat
in
on
that cross-faced chicken wing.
you. Yeah.
I whispered into Bob Backlund's ear.
Oh yeah.
I said, "Bob,
Mm.
$100 in my back pocket. You just take that and just know it, and then that's for you to kill the Duke at an undisclosed time."
Oh,
and he
good.
just
Good to know.
he just gave me the
Good to know.
So it's already in the works.
Good to
You're
know.
already behind the eight
Good to
ball.
know. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that I straighten out Bob Backlund next time.
Oh
I
yeah,
see
that
him.
please. I'll pay another 100 to see that happen.
Listen, before we go here, folks, we want to dedicate the show to Brianna. That's right, one half of Sugar and Spice. She's
Oh.
Spice, you know.
Right.
She had a baby.
Oh yes, I saw that there was some photos that
Baby,
she was on the way.
everything nice.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Baby, everything. She got
That's kind of
Sugar,
a long
Spice, and
name,
everything
though.
Nice. That's okay. It's a good.
It's kind
it's a
of
good
a long name.
It's a good name.
E.T. Oh, we can't call
No,
him
we
E.T.
can't call it Baby E.T. Stop it. So I got plans here. I'm going to have
Yeah.
Baby Everything Nice
Yeah.
team up with her mom,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to battle Micah Madrid and No Cell Ivy. And then, Alexa, a.k.a. Sugar,
Mhm.
she's going to come into the ring, hit Micah over the head with a boot, push her sister out of the ring, and then pin Micah for the win. Because
Well, now you've given up the whole. Now you've.
That's true.
The whole strategy you gave away. What's wrong with you?
That's true.
This is why you're never going to make it in the business, kid.
You know what?
You're never going to make it.
I gotta try harder.
Time to pack up that fanny pack and call it a day.
Well, there it is. Shout out to Baby Everything Nice. I got big plans for you, kid. You've been in that belly for a long time. Now it's time for you to start paying some rent, okay? And you're going to start, but the Duke's going to manage you. And we're going to take over the wrestling world. We're going to start by beating up on Micah Madrid.
All right, we got to go.
That's right.
We get this. We're done here.
We'll see you
I've
next
had
week,
enough.
folks.
This is Tony Schiavone, and we're desperately out of time on Duke Loves Wrestling.